happy Tuesday, which is when I'm recording this. We're doing surgery right now, so I'm in a different spot. Janice is doing things to her foot to make it all better. And the cat is hunting for the ball that he put under the fridge. So, those are the noises.
We all have trials.
Would we? Those of us that struggle have trials. It's funny I say that because I know it's going to bite me in the butt later.
I am!
Yay! Happy Tuesday. Just to let you know the way how we wrapped up last week, we're gonna go through, we're just gonna give you a snapshot. So Thursday. How many people called off Thursday, Janisa?
Minimum 3.
3, okay, maybe more. We don't really remember, but typically 3. There was a meeting that our boss had with some of his buddies because we're just not, our store is not up to snuff like it should be. We're not bringing in the money like we should be. We're doing something wrong. So his buddies didn't pull any punches and really let the main guy have it, Chris. He really took the brunt of it, but the rest of leadership kind of got a little bit of fallout too. So Janice and I got home, had really hard talk, and devolved to us sitting on the kitchen floor together, drinking a bottle of wine and crying. Adulting. But then I finished editing my vlog because I needed to post that Thursday. Got it posted about 11:30, which is good because I had to get up at 4. So then I crawl into bed and I go to turn on my light and then my ceiling fan goes and I'm like, so I get up out of bed and I run over and I like turn off the switch, but I'm exhausted and I'm like, I don't have the energy or the time for this. So I just crawled back under the covers. Which, I should also let you know, I was completely naked when this happened because I took a shower before crawling into bed. So like to only add even more panic to the, oh my god, I gotta get hurt! Everything was fine. Went to bed. Then I get woken up at like 4 in the morning and it's like, I'm gonna try your light. I'm like, what? I'm trying your light. My bedroom light's not working. I'm like, mine exploded last night, so that might be something to do with it. And Janice is like, okay. Well, yours isn't working either, so I'm gonna go and try the other lights in the house. I'm trying to, and I'm like, okay, let me get a robe on. So I put on my little robe cloak thing. And I'm like, we probably just need to flip the breaker back. So I go back over and I find it. And sure enough, one of the breakers had tripped. And so I flip it over and the lights come on. And she's like, oh, okay, everything works great. She's like, and your room light turned on. She turned it on, the light went on, and the fan turned on, and I went, blah, 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 and everything flipped again. And she's like, ah! And by this time, like, I'm old hat, so I didn't scream. And I'm like, yep, that's the thing it does. And she's like, I thought you had a dream. I didn't think you were serious. And I'm like, no, I'm completely serious. My fan is exploding whenever you turn it on. So we turn the light switch off, turn the breaker back, and we're like, okay, joke's on Larissa, she doesn't have a ceiling light again. We figured it out. Janisa then, like, took it apart, and, like, first, what was the first thing that happened?
The cap was loose.
The cap was loose on one of the wires, so she retightened it, put it up there, got the lights to work, and then the fan wouldn't turn on. Like, okay. So then her parents came over Sunday evening, and her dad looked at it with her, and it turned out that, like, one of the wires had gotten pinched and exposed, and that's what was causing the short. So then we fixed that. They fixed that. I did nothing. They took care of everything. It was fantastic.
Dad did it.
Dad did it. Janice's dad. Thanks, Dad. And it's fixed now. I have a ceiling fan light that works. But anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, exploded, and she's like, I'm like, yeah, right? But then we, like, don't need to get up for, like, she doesn't need to get up for another 40 minutes, and I can still sleep for another 20. So she's like, whatever, I'm gonna go back to bed. And that's when I noticed that she has this hole in her face. And I'm like, are you bleeding? And she goes, yeah. I woke up because the cat scratched me in the face. I think he was falling off the bed and tried to catch himself. Does it look bad? And I'm like, it looks deep. Like, it's not just like a cat, it's like a puncture. It's just one. Like, there's not like 3 of them. So she throws some Neosporin on it, which I can hear, because she's like, ah! Because it hurts, right? And then I roll over and go back to bed, somehow. Wake up when my alarm goes off, and we go to work. But that was how our Friday started. And we were both like, it is not worth it to try to make our breakfast smoothie. I'm done. We're going to Starbucks. I give up. We're going to Starbucks. We deserve it after this day. So that's what we did. So Saturday, what do we do? Oh, Saturday I was busy with church things. So first thing I did was my church does something called Serving Saturday, and they'll kind of be active with some stuff in the neighborhood. There's like an elementary school that's down the road that we've partnered up with. There's a halfway house that we've been partnered up with, and there's another house that takes care of foster families and like hooking up parents with kids that need help and teaching classes on stuff that our church is partnered up with. And so I'm like, I've been hearing about it since I've been going to this church, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that. And then Saturday morning I'm like, snooze. So I was like, all right, I really need to do it this Saturday. So we went to a house of someone that we were told was expecting a foster child. We were told they just needed some help like painting or assembling furniture. We get there and this was not the case. They just needed help cleaning out their garage, which is fine. So we cleaned out the garage, and I have photos. So here's a photo of before, and there you can kind of see everything that's behind there. There's the other side of the garage. So what we did was that. Lined up everything on that side, lined up everything on that side, cleaned out everything, and that was the pile of trash when we were all said and done. What you're not seeing is like the 3.5 foot tall pile of cardboard that we then divvied up between 3 different vehicles to take out of there. But one of the ladies that was there with me actually happened to be on another thing that I do with the church called Nashville Neighbors. And this is really cool. So what it is there's a health clinic, like a free health clinic that's attached to the church. Okay, let me rewind. So my church is Church Avenue South, but it's actually like an umbrella church, as well as like Church at Brentwood or the Franklin Church or Nolensville Church, they're building the new one. There's like, I think 7 or 8 of these churches that all belong to Brentwood Baptist, right? Umbrella. So we are Church Avenue South. And there is a health clinic that's part of Brentwood Baptist that deals with those that are low income or immigrants or refugees. And one of the things they offer is this class through Nashville Neighbors that they offer to refugees that they're like, if you want to take it, it's totally free, but we'll teach you like how to use a crosswalk or like how to interact with a pool in your neighborhood, or what is stress and mental health and how might that affect you here. If your kid is sick, what do you do? Like, because they think that you just dial 911 and then they call an ambulance and then they rack up a bunch of debt. So like, they're just kind of classes to introduce them to our culture and what it's like to live in America and like how to do things that a lot of us take for granted. And when I first heard about this, I'm like, yes, absolutely, because like I deal with like, Mexicans and Hondurans all the time that like just they don't know like how to say these words, and so other people think they're dumb, but they're not, and it's very aggravating to me. So I was just wanting to be more active with that and kind of do my part to help educate people on how to survive here. So we were partnered up with a family from the Congo, and they speak Swahili, which I still know a little bit of from when Dad went to Kenya. So it's really cool. Jambo, like to speak Swahili to them, and they're like, ah! But we had a meeting with them at like 12:30. And so I was like, okay, I'll just do serving Saturday and then go to this Nashville Neighbors meeting afterwards. It'll be great. And a girl that's in the group with me actually was in charge of the group that went to the foster family's house. So I was talking to her, I'm like, we could just carpool if that's cool. She's like, yeah, let's do it. So I drove, and then we're like, well, let's get lunch somewhere. She's like, well, what sounds good? I'm like, I've been craving sushi. And she's like, sushi sounds amazing. So we went to this cute little Korean Japanese restaurant. There was a hole in the wall. Here's a picture of the door when you come in. It was awesome. The food was delicious. She got like this noodle bowl thing that came out in a big black like ceramic pot that was like literally boiling still after it's sitting at the table. It was that hot. And she really seemed to like it, and like everything was authentic. It was delicious. So did that. And then I ended up texting Kayla and being like, hey, do you want to come over and play guitar with me? Help me practice my music for Sunday, and we can go to this new coffee shop that Janice and I have gone to a couple times but haven't had a chance to sit down in, full of board games. We could all play a board game together. Sure, why not? So we went there. Here's a video that just kind of show you. Janice is reading the rules during this video, but this is just a video to show you like how many board games this place has.
Or play one blue market card. If you have any of these cards, you can play it and make use of its benefits. Play cards and place on the discard pile if you only have one.
So we played this game called Imatep, and it was really fun. So like everybody had their own color of blocks, and you like wanted to build, you got points for building different stuff. It's really hard to explain just like this. But it was pretty easy to pick up, and it was a great game. And I mean, I won, not to brag, but it was great. And well, then Kayla says, hey, there's this concert I'm going to that if you help me load out the concert to like throw gear, you could see it for free. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, and it's got Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant. And I'm like, I'm there. Yes. Okay. So we went to this concert, and she's like, it's a health benefit concert for Rick Elias, who is one of the band members from the Ragamuffin band, who was like Rich Mullins' band, which I don't know if you know like the whole story behind that. So Rich Mullins was like this brilliant Christian songwriter that would write songs that were deeply, deeply impactful. Rick Elias was in his band and has terminal brain cancer. They were just doing a concert to help raise money for his family with help paying for medical costs and for ultimately the funeral costs. So we go there for this concert. Did not realize that Rick Elias would be sitting front and center for the majority of this concert and trying to perform. It was bittersweet. Like everybody that was up on stage was making music and was doing great, but he just like, he would say some wrong words. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark, go ahead. Thank you, Mark. I'm sorry, guys. And like he kept apologizing to us that he couldn't remember the lines. And all it did for me was remind me of Uncle Dan. And seeing somebody who was very vocal and had a gift not be able to do the thing anymore. Something that they used to be able to do, like breathing. And it's hard. It was a beautiful concert, very bittersweet. We helped clean up after the concert, and then Kayla came home with me, because the next morning I played at my church. And I haven't seen any of these videos yet, so you'll have to bear with me. Janisa was kind enough to be my camera woman. was narrowing my eyes there because my face was getting closer and closer to that microphone. I must have hit it, I don't know, like 7 times Sunday morning. Michael, the sound guy, was not thrilled. And each time I was like, because that mic has to be thousands of dollars. My bad! Sorry, Michael, that was me! I was really happy because Ronnie, the worship leader, I asked him, because I practiced with him Wednesday, I'm like, does it sound like too much? And he's like, yeah, well, no, we'll just have to wait till the drums come in. And because last time he's like, that's a little much, let's drop it. So I think that now that he knows what an upright bass sounds like with the band and like how I'm able to work it in so it matches and meshes well, he's a little bit more open to me doing some stuff, which is great because I was able to play, which I haven't been able to do in over a year. So I got one more song that Janisa caught for me.
What a beautiful name.
Shanice is playing fetch with our cat. Went pretty well. I can't wait until I get the chance to play music again, which actually is going to be this weekend, because the guys that I do game night with on Monday nights mentioned, hey, why don't we come over to your place since it's hard for you to move your bass and we'll just jam with you. And I'm like, yes, please. So they're coming over, and I think they both play guitar. So that'll be fun. Here it goes. Behold. This is our evening now. Actually, it's not, because we need to get going for church, which we're probably going to be late to. She's not looking at me. It's my fault. It's my fault we're going to be late, which means we're probably going to watch church on the TV. Unless you want to go late. What are we doing?
I'm fine here. Saves gas and I don't have a whole bunch right now.
Great. We will be staying home and doing church on the TV. Thank you, Jesus, for internet. Right, we did do church on a Sunday.
And I was there at church yesterday.
She was.
And I'll be at a church thing tomorrow. And
This is
on
true.
Thursday.
She's so churchy. Anyway, full week, right? So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope that you guys had a great week, and I hope that you have a great week, and I hope to see you next week.
Bye.